cold.
Oh, how could you?
I think I'm going to be sick.
Welcome to Watch Mojo. And today we're counting down our picks for the top 20 times The Simpsons went too far.
Well done, Monkey. That other panda gave some unexpected zazz to the festivities, eh?
For this list, we'll be looking at moments in the long-running adult animation that have been considered to be in extreme bad taste, undermine a developed character, or is questionable all around. What Simpsons moments are too far for you? Let us know in the comments. Number 20. Troy McClure's abnormality. Oh, sure, you might remember him from some obscure movie back in the day, but what you might not remember is that McClure is a bit odd.
Yeah, who'd have thought he'd turn out to be such a weirdo?
What are you talking about?
You know, his bizarre personal life. Those weird things they say he does down at the aquarium. Why, I heard...
Oh, Homer, that's just an urban legend. People don't do that type of thing with fish.
Rumors have been swirling around about his personal life and seem to have killed his career. Things began to take a turn when he starts dating Selma, and he starts to be seen as marketable again.
Troy's managed to shake the rumors that have dogged his career. And with news of his upcoming wedding, rumor has it he's up for some very choice roles.
Looks like you were wrong when you called him a washed-up deviant, eh, Laurie?
It's never made explicitly clear what the rumors are, but they have something to do with fish. Several characters comment on it, and Troy himself says it's something that has to remain hidden at all costs.
No, what I have is a romantic abnormality. One so unbelievable that it must be hidden from the public at all costs.
That's enough for us to not need any more details. Number 19. Homer finds Waylon Smithers Sr. After being hypnotized, Homer begins screaming uncontrollably.
Do something, Mesmerino.
Yes.
Oh, that's better.
The screaming itself is too far for us, but it's actually what Homer finds that's troublesome. When he was 12, he, along with Lenny, Carl, and Moe, went to dive into a quarry to swim. However, the quarry was empty and Homer discovered there was a blockage in a nearby drain pipe.
What the heck is that thing?
There, he discovers the corpse of Waylon Smithers Sr. It's definitely an unsettling image for a young Homer to have to face, especially since the corpse lands right in Homer's lap and has maggots coming out of it.
You found a corpse when you were 12? No wonder you've been so traumatized.
It's responsible for everything wrong in my life.
Number 18. The Simpsons Go to Brazil. The Simpsons traveling to Brazil should have been a fun little adventure to the South American continent. Lisa reveals she's been sponsoring a young boy named Ronaldo, and after he goes missing, the family travels to Rio de Janeiro to find him.
It's awfully expensive to fly to Brazil.
Not if we buy our tickets on the internet. It's really cheap if we change planes in Phoenix, Honolulu, Sun City, and East St. Louis, spend the night in a haunted house, and leave right now.
While typical Simpsons hijinks occur during the episode, critics and government officials weren't happy with the country's portrayal. They were upset with how Rio was made to look like it was rampant with street crime, slums, kidnappings, and rat infestations.
Mom, these are slums. The government just painted them bright colors so the tourists wouldn't be offended.
Works for me.
Yeah, check out the rats.
Ooh, they look like Skittles.
Further, they also didn't appreciate how the show used stereotypes from surrounding nations, such as characters having Spanish accents.
You can't protect her forever, you stupid lady.
Number 17. The Real Seymour Skinner. Perhaps one of the most controversial episodes of the series, everything we know about Seymour Skinner has been a lie. While Principal Skinner is being honored by the townsfolk, a man claiming to be the real Seymour Skinner shows up.
I'm an imposter. That man is the real Seymour Skinner.
The man we all thought was Skinner quickly reveals that he's actually Armin Tamzarian, and he took on the identity of Skinner when he couldn't tell Agnes that her son had seemingly died.
I don't know why I did what I did. I guess I couldn't bear to tell her about her son. What I did was wrong, but I'd do it again. Yes, Mother, it's me.
You look different somehow.
Of course, this twist undermines the audience's understanding of Skinner's character. It's not only fans and critics who took issues with the episode, but so did Harry Shearer, Skinner's voice actor, as well as Matt Groening saying it's one of his least favorite episodes. Number 16. Homer jumps the Springfield Gorge. Bart develops an obsession with professional daredevil Lance Murdoch. After some initial missteps, Bart begins to develop his skills at jumping over things with his skateboard.
I did it.
As he improves, he becomes popular and he seeks out more challenging jumps. He decides he'll jump Springfield Gorge, even though it's highly likely he won't make it. Understandably, Homer tries to stop his son from doing something so reckless to no avail. In the nick of time, Homer stops Bart but winds up attempting the jump himself. Predictably, he falls well short of making it and painfully falls to the bottom of the gorge.
This is the greatest thrill of my life! I'm king of the world! Woohoo! Woohoo!
Not only is the fall brutal, but it was a painful road to recovery.
What the audience didn't see was the unfunny aftermath.
Number 15. Bart hates himself. During a Little League baseball game, Bart misses a catch that would have won Springfield a championship.
Huh?
It's understandable that some townspeople would be upset with Bart's performance, but the reaction is too much. Not only does the crowd pelt Bart with objects, but he becomes a pariah in the town. It gets to the point where he spray paints the phrase, "I hate Bart Simpson," all over the place.
See? I hate me too. Now we can be friends again.
Even after he falls from the water tower and is recovering in the hospital, a crowd gathers to chant that he sucks.
Bart sucks! Bart sucks! Bart sucks!
Bart is just a kid, and in no way does he deserve this kind of treatment. Number 14. Hiring the Yakuza. Marge doesn't seem like the type to invest money into businesses, given that it can be a risky venture. In fact, it's her risk-averse nature that gets her kicked out of her investment club, the Investorettes.
Well, Marge, you're about as popular as Rugburn. All in favor of expelling Marge from the Investorettes?
Aye. All right, Helen. If I'm not wanted, I'll leave.
To show them up, she invests $500 in Pretzel Wagon. While the pretzels are good, Marge can't gain traction in terms of sales. To help her business, Homer hires the mob to wipe out the competition.
I've never reached out to you before, but my wife is in her hour of need. Your help could make all the difference in the world.
Okay.
See, boss? I told you that ad in the church bulletin would pay off.
The Investorettes are none too happy and hire the Yakuza to administer payback to Marge. Helen Lovejoy and Maude Flanders are part of the investor group, and it's wild that they would resort to gangland violence to take out Marge.
Perhaps you've heard of the Yakuza, the poison fists of the Pacific Rim, the Japanese mafia.
Number 13. Mr. Burns Villainy. Mr. Burns tends to be shrewd and cold-hearted, so it's not surprising when he does something terrible. In this instance, however, he goes way overboard.
I must say Mr. Burns is being awfully inconsiderate. Selfish, even.
When oil is found beneath Springfield Elementary, he taps the well before the school can, denying the wealth and prosperity the school could have provided its students. His oil drilling company also causes Moe's Tavern to close, injures Santa's Little Helper, and destroys the retirement home.
Certainly vanquished all your enemies, the elementary school, the local tavern, the old age home. You must be very proud.
The most egregious thing he does is block out the sun in order to force everyone to have their lights on 24/7. It's incredibly fiendish.
Take one last look at the sun, Springfield.
Number 12. Homer abandons his dad. On a long drive back home from a ghost town, Grandpa really has to pee, but Homer refuses to pull over.
Please go back. You can make it my birthday present.
We're almost home, Dad. Only a couple more times over the horizon, but I might explode!
Grandpa's kidneys explode, and Homer volunteers to donate one of his own to his dad. However, on the day the operation is supposed to happen, Homer cowardly runs away, leaving his dad to die.
I can't imagine Dad running away like this, leaving his father to die? Even I wouldn't do that, and I'm America's bad boy.
It's a heartbreaking situation.
It's a complete and utterly terrible thing for him to do. In shame, he decides to live at sea. On a ship, he meets a group of outcasts, and even they are so disgusted by his actions that they kick him off the ship.
I stole this accordion from a blind monkey, but you, you disgust even me.
Well, yeah, I know.
We've seen Homer be careless and inconsiderate before, but this is downright terrible. Number 11. Panda Love. Over the course of the series, Homer has gone through a lot. This episode adds to the indignities he's faced in a pretty bad way. Needing some extra cash, Homer becomes Mr. Burns' prank monkey.
Let's keep the laughs coming, eh, Simpson? What say I make you my executive in charge of recreation? No, better yet, my prank monkey.
Do you keep giving me money?
I can't have my little monkey running around in rags.
This typically involves Burns giving Homer money in exchange for doing something humiliating, such as laying on the men's room floor in a diaper.
AB made a boom boom.
Oh, good heavens! Oh!
Here you go, monkey.
However, things go a little too far when Burns has Homer pose as a panda at an exhibit at the Springfield Zoo. There, another panda mistakes Homer as a mate and drags him away unwillingly. Of course, it's portrayed in a light manner, but it is in fact deeply disturbing. Number 10. Homer straps dynamite to himself. The town of Springfield is divided when they discover that the poorer folks in town have been given new telephone area codes, while the wealthy get to keep the old one. The citizens gather in the town hall for a meeting.
We haven't heard from me yet. The nut with the dynamite.
In this side gag that runs throughout the scene, culminating in an angry mob, we see that Homer has arrived at the meeting strapped with dynamite. While the episode aired pre-9/11, given that so many public places have been the target of terrorist attacks in the early 21st century, the joke has not aged well. Number 9. Jockeys are murderous elf-like creatures. The episode begins like classic Simpsons fare. The family comes into possession of a pet they cannot afford and tries to come up with a creative means of supporting it. This time it's a horse, and Bart becomes a jockey. Things take a turn when the horse starts winning. It's not the mafia or corrupt bookies that insist Homer throw a race, however, it's singing murderous elven jockeys.
Your horse must lose.
My horse must lose?
No win.
No show. No place.
Just lose the stinking race.
It's one thing to canonize that there are brain-eating elves living by a chocolate stream under Springfield Downs racetrack, but to literally dehumanize people of small stature, a cruel stereotype against which little people grapple daily, is much worse. Number 8. Lisa enjoys secondhand cigarette smoke. When a ballet academy sets up in Springfield, Marge decides to fulfill a lifelong dream to become a ballerina. While she has skill, she's too old. However, the instructor notices Lisa's naturally perfect posture and wants her to join.
I rarely say this, but how would you like to become a paying student of my dance academy?
To Lisa's frustration, she discovers she's bad at it, until she hangs out with the other girls on their smoke break. After inhaling the secondhand smoke, she feels like she does better, leading her to want to smoke cigarettes.
Time for a smoke.
While the episode is good overall and reminiscent of a classic-era Simpsons morality play, having level-headed Lisa pick up cigarettes and contemplate something so harmful is decidedly uncomfortable.
Give me that!
Number 7. Bart and Lisa cover up the murder of Martin Prince. The sleuthing of Bart and Lisa is a beloved plot arc standby, and throughout the show they've foiled nefarious schemes together and brought corrupt men to justice. The tables are turned when a prank goes wrong, and they think they've killed classmate and goody two-shoes Martin Prince.
Bart, you can't just run away from this!
You're right. I can bike away much faster and ring the bell to drown out bad thoughts.
Rather than do what you'd expect and tell an adult that Martin fell off a cliff and attempt his recovery, they cover the whole thing up. This naturally causes them a lot of mental anguish, and while it turns out okay, you spend the episode thinking the kids might not be all right after all.
Well, it's good to have you alive, Dorkburger. And as for you two, I hope you learned your lesson.
Number 6. Frank Grimes' death. Frank Grimes has had it rough and just wants to get his life going when he moves to Springfield. However, he immediately notices how insanely messed up Homer is. A somewhat meta episode, many people regard Homer's enemy as the end of the golden era of The Simpsons, when Homer's buffoonery itself becomes the joke.
Yesterday? Gee, that would have been stupid.
Frank eventually goes over the edge, as any sane person might, when he meets his end in a grisly fashion.
I don't need safety gloves because I'm Homer Simpson.
And life, for everyone else, carries on as normal. Number 5. Marge's breast implants. While out with Manjula, Marge, the sweet beloved matriarch of the family, is talked into getting liposuction. When she wakes up from surgery, she discovers that there has been a mix-up and her tummy tuck turned into breast implants.
What on earth have you done? My McGuppies became bazongas.
Not only was it a terrible departure for her character, but also it's just cringy as hell to see her so overtly sexualized in what felt like very obvious fan service. At the end of the episode, putting a cherry on this cringe cheesecake, she flashes a crowd of people to save Homer, Bart, and Milhouse from being eaten by an elephant.
Whoa, look at those Magumbos!
Number 4. The death of Maude Flanders. When Homer antagonizes the racetrack t-shirt cannon cheerleaders, Maude Flanders is struck with the clothing barrage, knocked off the bleachers and into the parking lot, dying on impact.
In many ways, Maude Flanders was a supporting player in our lives.
The shocking scene was highly anticipated, although viewers were unsure which Springfield citizen would kick the bucket. It was the first time a regular character was actively killed off, and it changed the dynamic of not just the show, but also the character of Ned Flanders. In a show that, like so many others, resets at the end of each episode, this seemed like an awfully drastic step to spice things up.
Lord, I never question you, but I've been wondering if your decision to take Maude was, well, wrong.
Number 3. Homer dreams of killing his father. Abe and Homer's rocky dynamic has produced some of the series' best moments. In the opening of this season 19 episode, we see them arguing during a drive home, and it seems like there's nothing out of the ordinary. However, when the car goes off the road, Abe is too injured to get out. Rather than dial 911, Homer kills him. The dream sequence of Homer smothering his father as he struggles to breathe has no bearing on the rest of the episode, but somehow it makes the unnecessarily shocking scene worse. It might be a Sopranos reference, but it is still odd and disturbing.
What? Oh, I was having the most wonderful dream. I always wake up just before the good part.
Number 2. Moe nearly ends his life. Moe Sislak's despair has been an off-color gag throughout the show's run, with ill-fated attempts and accidentally saving Maggie while preparing to jump from a bridge. But things got especially dark in this episode, as Moe slowly walks up to a prepared noose in his bar, while Homer, Lenny, and Carl are in the other room, none the wiser.
Because this time, there's no one that's gonna save me!
Slipping the noose around his neck, he calls a helpline. Accidentally kicking the chair out, the booze hounds rush to the noise and find him on the floor, which is all played out for laughs. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Marge won't take no for an answer. What the hell, Simpsons? The setup here is that Marge has been lifting weights and juicing up as a way to feel back in control of herself after she was mugged and developed agoraphobia. As a result, she becomes more aggressive. In one scene, she wants a little action in bed, and when Homer says he's not up to it, she tells him she wasn't asking. The next morning, Homer is limping around the kitchen. Having Marge be so aggressive, to the point where she forces herself on her husband, goes against her character and is just plain horrible. Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.